Today on our show, man, we got Star Wars, we got Carnage, we're getting wet and hot. Talking about American Summer. All that for you is next on the Nerdynomicon, so stick right here. Welcome to the Nerdynomicon. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Adrian.
Oh, so good to be chilling out here in the Geek Cave, eating a little taco salad, playing some video games. I've been so busy this week. I am sore and I am exhausted, and I've been up since 5:15.
And updating your computer and
Updating
being
my
late for
computer.
recording.
For the second week in a row.
I messaged you. It's like, hey, you talking about Once Upon a Time again?
I wish that was the case, though. We did actually wrap up with last season last night, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm kind of disappointed that they're going on to season 7. If they had stopped it last night, I think that one would have immediately jumped on my list of probably maybe top 5, but definitely top 10 endings of all time in TV shows.
I mean, for me, I've never seen this show, but I feel like it would have been my number one ending of all TV shows because I just don't care for that show.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, this last season, they were drunk watching Game of Thrones when this season was written. There were so many sword battles. There was so much darkness. It was a dark fucking season. Brought in the Black Fairy, got a little crazy, some black magic, a couple of murders. Disney, you crazy cheeky monkey.
I don't know, man. You're talking about dark, and I told you I've been slowly making my way through Daredevil Season 2 because I'm super far behind. That's the last Marvel property on Netflix that I have yet to finish. So I'm totally out of order.
Good.
And I was telling you, I just saw that fight scene in the prison where the Punisher just murders a bunch of dudes. Oh, spoilers if you haven't seen it. It was incredible. I was so excited. I was like, I have to tell someone I saw this because it was nuts.
I'm surprised you didn't call me and gush about it in real time.
I wanted to, but then
Why didn't you?
I was like, Robbie's probably at work.
Probably, but I can take 5 minutes out for Adrian Steve. Anybody can take 5 minutes out for Adrian Steve.
Hey, if you're with Adrian Steve, it only takes 2 minutes. It's so weird.
You're welcome. All right, so you ready to get to some news, bro?
No. How was your week? How are you doing?
Oh, my week is good. I thought I kind of touched on that with how busy and exhausting and sore I am. And I'm not joking. I have been up since like 5:15 this morning because Max decided, hey, that's a good time to wake up. I'm going to wake up Daddy and play and shove animal crackers into his ear as he tries to catch an extra 10 minutes of sleep. But the Animaniacs are on in the background. And do you know how weird kind of like lucid dreaming that makes things? When your kid's trying to shove animal crackers in your ear, the Animaniacs are going on. You got Chicken Boo just bucking his head around doing random stuff.
Chicken Boo?
Chicken Boo.
What's the matter with you?
You don't act like the other chickens do.
I don't know any more words to it. I know there's like a line that comes after that.
Wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man.
You're a chicken boo.
You're a chicken boo.
Yeah. I knew I was missing that last, that middle part.
Yep. That's what it is.
I loved Animaniacs. I tried to watch it recently, and I think the jokes and everything hold up, but the animation is clearly not up to par anymore.
Yeah, the animation definitely feels dated, but to me, as a whole, the show still holds up. And it holds up probably better now than it did when I was a kid. Just got to the episode, and I could not my jaw dropped. Because my kid is only like a year and a quarter old, okay? And he's a goofy little son of a bitch. I love him with all of my heart, but he's sitting there laughing at everything that the Animaniacs do. So that's why I turn it on in the morning, so maybe I can knock back out for like another hour. I take him into the office with me. Sometimes I'll do some work if I'm really exhausted like I was today. I'll just try to pass back out. So while I'm trying to fall asleep, the episode where they're talking about getting fingerprints is on. So they make the joke, all right, we need fingerprints. And Wacko shows up and he holds up the singer Prince. R.I.P. Prince. No, I mean fingerprints. Oh, and then toss them. I'm like, oh my God. Holy shit, that was a dirty joke.
Yeah, they snuck a lot of stuff in there. I think that was that was one of the reasons I think it did pretty well, is because if adults have to watch with their kids, there's stuff in there for them too. So
I mean, even in the opening, during the theme song, just throwing in while Bill Clinton plays the sax, that's a joke that even seems a little bit dated now, but to people of our generation, we still kind of get it, and we still kind of snicker at it,
Yeah.
So, I love the Animaniacs.
I do too. I think my thing was I was just trying to watch it, like, for me, and it's like, if there's like if you're like helping another kid discover it, that's different.
Right.
But yeah, I'm so far behind in
1 year
everything else.
anniversary.
I'm behind in my shows. I'm not even through season 2 of Daredevil. I'm not. I've got so many movies I haven't seen. I've got so many games I haven't played, and I don't know. Should we mention? I think I bought a whole bunch more that I shouldn't have, and we might end up doing some giveaways of some of the games.
Yes.
We're gonna figure that out.
Yeah, we're going to be figuring that out over the course of the next week. But yes, that's right, guys. We got giveaways for you. You're going to have to do something to get entered into these giveaways. But we're going to be giving away some shit. We're going to be giving away games. Adrian might be giving out locks of his hair. Maybe some kisses at the kissing booth.
Ooh, I don't know which one would piss my girlfriend off more, the kissing or the hair. Let's nix those two. And don't get...
All right, let's not nix them. Let's table them. We'll put a pin in that for now. We'll just put the pin, put it right up there on the wall.
That wall better be like in the nuclear fallout bunker underneath the ground that never gets opened, because that's the likelihood of that actually transpiring.
And now you're depressing the audience.
I did what? Because they can't have my hair because they think there's a nuclear holocaust coming? Because
Yes.
Either one.
Both.
Either one's pretty depressing, I suppose. They're about the same. If you were to put those two outcomes on the scale, it'd probably be about even.
I know it is for me. So how about you, real quick, man? How was your week?
My week was pretty good. I got to go out with the lady, to have some fun. We'll talk about that later. It's kind of the basis of our topic. We got to go out, traveled about an hour away to go see a concert with one of her favorite bands and one of my favorite bands.
Brooke still pops in from time
to
time. We got Holly, who I've known for years and years.
But that's what made it even better. It's kind of like,
that absolutely,
like your people are touring with my people.
You got my peanut butter on my ice cream. You got your ice cream on my peanut butter. Two great things that taste great together.
No, it's like you got your popcorn on my cock. No, you got your cock in my popcorn. It's like, no.
Step 1, cut a hole in a box. Step 2, put your dick in that box. Step 3, make her open the box. And that's just the way it is.
I feel like the dick and the totally off topic, by the way, but I feel like the dick in the popcorn bucket is just a terrible idea. Like, best case scenario is you get a buttery, salty, coarse hand job while watching whatever film you're supposed to be watching.
Mm-hmm.
But worst case scenario is you get a buttery, salty, coarse hand job that opens wounds, and then butter and salt get into those wounds.
That's actually exactly what happens. Have you ever tried it?
No, I would. Have you? I bet you have, haven't you?
I tried it once. It didn't work out well. It did not work out well. But sadly, the girl that I went to the movies with doesn't even like popcorn. So I'm sitting there with my dick in popcorn for absolutely no reason. And then, I don't know how, but forgot that my dick was in the popcorn at some point and felt something and freaked out. So, yeah, that one happened. You can hear all sorts of stories like this over on our sister show, Couldn't Be Models.
Which, I might add, just celebrated 1 year.
Yes, we did. It was the 1 year anniversary of my first podcast for Artful Gremlins called Couldn't Be Models, which I do with two of my childhood friends, Hobart and Dickie. And it was a really monumental occasion for me. The first podcast I ever did was obviously Lords of the Polygon Table, which I did with you, Adrian Steve. That's where you and I became friends.
Yes.
But when I left the Keep Studios to found the Artful Gremlins, the whole idea was to make content that I believe in, content that I really love, and do it with people that I love, with my friends, with my family. And these two guys I consider my family. I consider them closer than lots of other family, you know what I mean? I've known them forever. I knew Dickie from the time I was 5 years old. We used to take swimming lessons together, and he used to cry when he got his face wet. He hates it when I tell that story. So it was kind of monumental for me. It wasn't just the anniversary of my first podcast for Artful Gremlins. It was the anniversary of me founding something that is based around the idea of having fun with the people that I care about. And obviously, Adrian, you and I became best friends over at Lords of the Polygon Table. You followed me over here. We started up Nerdynomicon. Brooke still pops in from time to time. We've got Holly, who I've known for years and years as well. She's going to be doing the YouTube show, which is actually going to be dropping the first video by the time this is released next week, I think.
Okay.
Which is going to be the start of her series of lists. Yeah, because everybody loves lists, so she's going to be doing top 5 lists. The first one is going to be our opinion. All of these are opinion based, but the top 5 best comic book movies of all time. But I digress. It was just really emotional for me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Celebrating the 1 year anniversary for Couldn't Be Models.
So I feel like we've just kind of glossed over something I want to back up on really quick. So. Sure. He cried whenever his face got wet.
Yes.
But then tears make your face wet. So did he just get into like a crying loop at that point? Like, did he just he like got his feet, you know? Some say he's still crying to this day, or what?
He's like the perverted splorch vajenko loving La Llorona, the creature of Mexican lore. Those who hear his cries, their children become abducted. Some say you can still hear his cries to this day. Not in the face! Not in the face!
If there's anyone that's good at ruining a moment, it's me, by the way. So, no, you're getting all sentimental. Can't have that. Can't have it.
I was too, but damn it, you ruined it, but you turned it into comedy gold. Oh my god. Dickie's gonna fucking kill me for that one too. I'm gonna have to give him 2 hugs and, a hit of weed or something like that. That's... So a hit of weed so good that it makes him cry. It starts the cycle. He freaks out and I have to put him in the bathtub. The Japanese call him Kappa.
Man.
Oh my god.
I can see that.
That was either really fun and really funny, or I really sleep deprived. I'm either sorry or you're welcome, one or the other. I think that was like 2 minutes of me just fucking laughing.
I think it depends on who you ask. I think some people will be all on board with that, and other people we'll bring them around.
Fuck it. I'm not cutting a second of that. That was good.
No.
I'm not filing that.
Never.
I'm not filing that. All right, dude. It's been like almost 15 minutes. You ready to get to some geek news?
Let's do it.
All right, man. You've got a couple of nuggets that you wanted to drop first.
I do.
Still hear
so
the
first one we're going to talk about is we have more details about the Venom movie that's coming out.
Fuck
here
yes,
eventually.
we do.
I don't know exactly when it's coming out. I just know that it is coming out.
Tom Hardy, bitches.
That's true.
He's a man that walks between 2 worlds now. We've got Bane and we got Venom. Yeah, I know.
So
both it was a
Venom.
joke answer,
Well,
but come on, man. Anti-hero, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Come on, bitches. He's a villain.
They finally officially announced that the protagonist or antagonist, the antagonist of which I do not know the version that I'm supposed to say.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
It's antagonist.
It's antagonist. Can I say who it is? Carnage! Yes, bitches! Carnage is making his cinematic debut, and I am so fucking excited for this, man. This is something I've been waiting for since I was a little kid, because Carnage was always, in my opinion, one of the coolest villains in all of Marvel comic book history. I've always loved Carnage.
So, since you've been waiting for this...
Yes.
Who you cast?
Who would I cast as Carnage?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's a good question.
I mean, you've been waiting for so long. I feel like you should already have this on the tip of your tongue.
Dude, it's been so long since I gave up hope on Carnage ever coming to the cinematic universe. I mean, come on, we lived through the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, which I personally enjoyed, but nobody else seemed to, so I gave up hope on that aspect of it years ago. But as of right now, who would I cast? Justin Bieber, just because I want to see him get his ass kicked on film.
But Carnage is kind of a crazy badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It was a joke answer, but come on, man.
I know, but I just hate him so much. And we're going to be talking about good music later, okay? So
this is true.
Don't bring down the one time we talk about music on this podcast as an actual topic with Bieber news.
You know who I would cast? I do not remember his name, but he has the eyes that even in human form just kind of exemplify who I always see Carnage as. It's the dude that plays Simon in the British TV show The Misfits, and he also plays Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones. I think that his acting chops could really bring Carnage to life, even in human corporeal form.
Okay. Interesting. I actually really liked, some people were discussing it on the news page where it was released, I think on Reddit or something, where I saw that it was released. I'm not going to say that it broke there because God knows where it actually broke.
We're looking this one up in real time, guys, so we're not even going to cut this. You guys are going to have to...
Ooh, that's a good pick.
That is a great pick.
Right? Yeah, I could see that.
Justified, The Shield. He had a one-shot cameo in one of my favorite shows, Community. That's a great, great pick. I really like that.
Yeah, so I was just seeing if you had anyone else in mind that maybe could top that.
I'm
trying
not
to
off
think.
the top of my head. That's actually kind of perfect.
Right?
I still like my version, but Walter Goggins, I mean, that's right up there. So that's really, really up there. Yeah, I like that.
I guess the one thing that I want to touch on again, I think we talked about this recently with the Venom movies, just like I just don't trust them to do it right, especially being not directed by Marvel. Marvel knows what they're doing, and Sony hasn't shown me that they always do. I won't say they haven't been wrong every time, but they don't have that, 90% plus success rate like Marvel is pumping out.
No, I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
And also, I want to see Venom and Carnage in the Marvel universe, like showing up for shit. Not just necessarily being the Spider-Man thing. It
is not out of the realm of possibility because Sony still owns Spider-Man, but they've rented him over to the Marvel Cinematic Universe basically because Sony cannot figure out how to fucking do Spider-Man or Fantastic Four for that matter. Even though I think Fantastic Four is owned by Fox. Either way it goes, nobody knows how to do that shit. I'm not going to count it out. I'm really not.
I'm not going to count it out, but at the same time, I'm not going to hold my breath.
I'm not going to hold my breath either, but I'm not going to count it out.
I have a feeling they're trying to ramp up their whatever this new Spider-Man universe is going to be for them. This reboot or whatever it is. They're going to try to hype it up with
the
Spider-Man.
Reboots.
They're going to try to hype it up with Spider-Man that was kind of overseen by Marvel, and then try to hook people into their not super affiliated Venom movie to like pocket all.
He's a man that walks between two worlds now. I could see that. You mean kind of like parlaying into that just for a cash grab? Because it's obvious that Spider-Man Homecoming is going to do spectacular at the movie theater.
Yes, I'm excited.
That's obvious.
That's coming out in like a week or two, right?
It's coming out really fucking soon, man. Really soon.
I know.
I think the next movie I'm excited to see is coming out, I believe, the day that this drops, although we might be dropping on Saturday because of the server, the weekend that this drops, and that's Baby Driver. I'm really excited for that. But I believe Spider-Man Homecoming comes out within the next couple of weeks.
Is it a biography of Minnie Driver?
It is not.
Oh. Well, I just lost all interest.
So yeah, Carnage is coming, man.
In a big bad way.
You can't stop it, and why would you want to?
All over your neck and chest area.
In and around, all over your face, neck, and chest.
I messed that one up on purpose. I wanted to see if you'd get annoyed.
In and around your mouth, Adrian.
Oh, no.
This Carnage is coming to the movies, man. We get so excited about this, we got to use our mouths on it. Yeah, that's what we do in the podcasting world.
Hey, guys, hold your butts, because Venom and Carnage are coming.
There you go. You had one other thing that you wouldn't even tell me what it was. You just said you're going to have to let it happen to you once we get the microphones going here.
Oh, yeah. I should have done that before talking about Venom and Carnage, because it's just a little thing, because we've been talking about it on text, and I broke down, and I bought Hollow Knight, because it is
I'm so excited for this game.
I know. But I'm holding off. Like, I haven't touched it, because I want to, like, play through it around the same time as you and talk about it. So,
Metroidvania game. Everybody's hyped about it. Everybody's excited about it. Fangamer has already plushes galore of it. They've got T-shirts. People are so excited about this. This game is getting perfect scores everywhere.
Yeah, and it's
Carnage.
2D hand-drawn, which you hardly ever see anymore.
Carnage is
and
very true.
It's supposed to be a really great soundtrack, great sound effects, really tight gameplay. You're supposed to be able to play multiple play styles, so I don't know exactly what that means, but if you remember Symphony of the Night, there were kind of multiple mechanics, but basically you ran around and you hit things with a sword, and that was about it. You couldn't really you could use magic and spells, but not like as the primary way to take things out. So I think Hollow Knight has multiple ways to play. You can be like a more magic-based person, or you can be more of a brute force, hit someone with a sword. So
when I read that, I was thinking a lot more like Castle Crashers, how you can use like your specialty attacks or your magic attacks, or you could use your melee weapons, you could use your ranged attacks. That's the way I read it, is that it has all the mechanics built in, but it's up to you to decide on what kind of a player you want to be. But I haven't played it yet, so time will tell on that. I know the game's already out, but the PS4 version is coming sometime within 2017, and latest reports say that they hired a second team for the port for a Nintendo Switch. So these ports are coming in a big bad way, and they're coming quick.
So hold your butts.
So hold your butts. Yeah, this is on a list of other games that I'm really excited to get my hands on. Undertale is coming this summer for PS4, finally, and Flint Hook is already out, but I have not played it yet, mostly because my PlayStation controller has died, and also because I've been obsessed with The Legend of Zelda as of late. But once I wrap up a few more Zelda games, I'll get back to some of the other indie games. We're going to be talking a lot of games coming up soon.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of games, I was trying to remember one that I was hyped up back in the day, and it's like, did this ever release? Remember Cuphead?
Comic book movies of all time. I do remember Cuphead. I digress.
Old.
It was just really emotional for me.
Or maybe even earlier, 1930s, like Disney animation style platformer game.
Weren't we talking about that at E3 last year when we were doing Polygon Table?
A while ago. And I was like, did that ever release? It looks like it did release. Why was I not informed? Where were you, Robbie? I'm going to look it up right now.
I don't know. Any chance of PS4 release? That was back in 2015. We're looking this one up in real time, guys. So we're not even going to cut this. You guys are going to have to agonize through us looking for information about Cuphead.
It is not out yet. It's coming out in about 3 months. It still looks fucking incredible, though.
Yes, it does. Look at the devil.
Yeah, it literally
look at the devil.
Looks like you're playing an old Disney animated cartoon
with the little steamboat and everything.
Yeah,
Mickey's whistling. There's a devil involved. God, that looks badass.
Well, after we beat Hollow Knight, Then we can move on to Cuphead. We can
Right
bring some games back into this a little bit.
You ready to talk about some shit that just never happens?
Maybe.
All right, because we got some Star Wars news for that ass, Adrian.
Oh, I'm clenching.
Between these three movies, you better clinch up tight, man, because this never happens. Over $1 billion. Director team for the Han Solo movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they're out, man. They were fired from the Han Solo movie. This never happens. The only reason I can tell you of one instance that I know of that it happened is just because they talked about this for about a half hour on Fat Man and Batman with Kevin Smith and Mark Bernard. And we're not going to go into nearly as much detail as they did, but one of the times that they cited was during the filming of The Island of Dr. Moreau. The director was fired in the middle of production and basically just hung out on the island. I guess he turned into one of the animal people, or at least got the makeup to turn into one of the animal people. I liked it better if he actually became an animal person, but I digress. This doesn't happen. This does not happen. Not when millions and millions of dollars are at stake. Directors are replaced after principal photography is finished. You know, when they're in post and they're trying to piece together and find the film with the footage that they shot, sometimes the directors are replaced at that point. Zack Snyder already shot everything for Justice League, but had to step away due to his family tragedy, which we don't need to bring up again. Right. It was heartbreaking enough the first time. Joss Whedon stepped in. So, that's another example of a director taking over. Now, this does not happen.
Didn't we run into a similar thing? Not exactly with the directors getting fired or anything, but didn't we run into some massive directing issues with Rogue One as well?
Not the exact same thing, but something similar. Yeah, Rogue One is yet another example of the director being removed from the project in post. That happened right when they were getting ready to do the reshoots. That's where the reshoots came in, and honestly, that's where one of the best scenes in cinema history came about, because that Darth Vader scene where he's just slaughtering the rebels, that was not in the original cut of Rogue One. That was added during the reshoots. Unfortunately, the scene where the TIE fighter just kind of levitates up and Jin is staring it down and then turns and runs, that was removed. So that's disappointing, but at least the Vader scene's in. But yeah, it looks like the Star Wars movies have been having a bit of a tumultuous relationship with the directors as of late. Now, there's still hope for this movie, because look what happened to Rogue One.
Right. Rogue One came out and killed it.
Absolutely.
It sliced your butt right off. You weren't holding it tight enough.
No, I keep on making dick and fart jokes and everything like that, talking about awesomeness coming over the chest. You're gravitating to the butts. I like this. Now we have our thing.
I've got my catchphrase. You have your 10 catchphrases.
So back on topic here. Yeah, Rogue One, they removed their director, still ended up with an incredible movie. I still maintain probably the second best Star Wars movie of all time, second only to Empire. Han Solo still has that possibility, I think. But here's the thing. It looks like they were only about halfway done shooting it. So you got to wonder what kind of a movie these guys were putting together. And this team right here, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, these are the guys that brought you 21 and 22 Jump Street. Two movies you didn't even know you wanted to see until you saw them, and then you couldn't even get enough of it. These are also the directors for a little movie that not a lot of people have seen, but it did remind me when I watched it that everything is awesome, and everything is cool when you're part of a team, because they directed the Lego Movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Human Centipede.
No, God, no. God, no. These are the directors from the Lego Movie. Between these three movies, you know that they grossed, I would say, probably over $1 billion, because the Lego Movie's still pulling in mad bank. But that's who was removed, and you got to wonder why. I'd say probably Kennedy, she's the unimpeachable. Producer, the executive producer over there, the studio head, I do not know. For all things Star Wars, she's been with them since the beginning. I mean, she's essentially George Lucas in that studio right now. She knows what she wants. She knows what to do. She knows what she wants to get out of this project. They were fired. So it's not that I don't trust her judgment. As a matter of fact, I would say probably her judgment is unimpeachable, because there are even reports that I've read. I do not know how accurate they are, but there are reports floating around in the aether of the internet where she was trying to get the Gungans out of Episode 1. So anyone that was working that hard to get the Gungans and get that abomination known as Jar Jar away from us before it actually happened to us is a goddamn hero. I mean, she should put the Danishes on her ears and just walk and get medals all over the place for even attempting that.
I mean,
because
yeah.
fuck Jar Jar.
But that's going to mess up that would have messed up the next trilogy, because then if Jar Jar isn't Snoke, who is?
I cannot wait to find out the revelation of who Snoke is. I cannot wait for this, Adrian Steve. We're just going to let that pregnant pause hang, and on with the show. I'm just saying it might not be anyone. It might not be anyone that we know. You know, it easily could just be a random, brand new character. And you know what? I don't even think I'd be disappointed about that. We should do an entire episode on speculation. That would be a lot of fun.
Didn't we?
We probably did, but we could do more.
Okay, I'll have to watch it again. I think it's on Stars or some shit.
You should always watch it again, Adrian Steve. Always watch this again.
I don't have time, Robbie. I'm running out of time. I don't have enough time.
That's a good answer. I understand exactly what you mean on that. Even waking up at 5:15. That's a good answer. That kid is going to bury me one day.
I mean, you would kind of hope so.
Yeah. Right on, man. He will bury me one day. Yeah, just wrapping up on the point. I need to hammer this point home. This does not happen. They found out that they were fired pretty much the same time that we did. They essentially showed up at the studio. Their key cards didn't work. That is what happened to these guys. We've got to have it pretty much over in a minute. And they assembled a phenomenal cast. Emilia Clarke, Donald Glover, playing fucking Lando Calrissian. Again, I would praise Catherine. Like, you want to be on this podcast. It does make me wonder what kind of movie we were going to be getting. Was this going to be more of a comedic heist type movie, almost like Ocean's 11 style, or was it going to be more in the dramatic vein of the Star Wars movies that we've all come to know and love? I mean, on one hand, Star Wars has always had a sense of humor about itself. But on the other hand, how much humor is too much humor? Maybe they were going for something that would have stuck out like a sore thumb in the franchise. Because I don't have his name in front of me. Unfortunately, I'm a bad podcaster. Bad. But the guy that wrote The Empire Strikes Back, he and his son are writing the script, or have written the script for the Han Solo film. So that's enough to give me the benefit of the doubt toward this movie. It's enough to give me to have me give the movie the benefit of the doubt, because I don't exactly want a Han Solo standalone film. Rogue One was something that always sounded cool. That's always something that I was down with. Boba Fett I can be down with, because I would like to see some of his past retconned, some of the shit that they gave us in the prequels. I think that there's a lot there. I think that there's a lot more of the universe of Star Wars that you can explore there. Han Solo is a fan favorite, and it feels like they're doing this as a cash grab. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to see it, and it's probably going to be great. But as of right now, it's not the movie that I really want to see. I'd much rather see something like Shadows of the Empire or Knights of the Old Republic. Stories that were removed from canon once Disney bought it. I'd like to see them make those into movies and bring the canon back, or have somebody make their own versions of them. You know what I mean? There's such a wealth of history and such a wealth of awesome Han Solo in Star Wars that you could do. So you don't need to stick so close to the contemporary timeline. You can bounce around. But all that set aside, I'm still excited about it. I'm still looking forward to it. It's not the movie I want, but it's the movie that we're going to be getting. And with Catherine Kennedy behind this film, you know it's going to be not a lot of people. You know it's going to be great. But I just cannot believe that they fired these two directors.
What if they were fired because they wanted to put the Gungans in the movie?
Then again, I would praise Catherine Kennedy. I would actually demand she be on the show so that I could thank her myself. Okay? That is how far I would go for this. And she'd be like, we're getting lawyers involved. And I'd be like, no lawyers needed. Come on the show. And she's like, I don't know your show. And I'm like, you will know the show. She'd be like, I don't want to be on a podcast. I'm like, you want to be on this podcast because I'm going to thank you. And she's like, you just thanked me. And I'm like, I know, but I want to do it on the air. And eventually I'd wear her down, because I'm all cute and charming and whatnot.
I feel like I'm picturing this scene happening on the phone for some reason, even though I don't think you would ever get her phone number to talk to.
You know,
but with you wearing a Jedi hood and waving your hand while talking on the phone like that was going to work.
That's actually pretty accurate to how I could see it playing out in my head. That is far more accurate than I think you realize. Immediately. And the second option is you let that son of a bitch into the office because that's a man of principle and he... It's also more accurate than I think you realize, but the phone is probably the way I would try to make this happen. Watch this again. Or I'd try to go into the studio Tom Green style from Freddy Got Fingered. Just walking in. Sir, you can't be in there. Oh, no, it's okay. I know what I'm doing. Spill the shush right there? Wait, what? Japan 4. Oh,
I thought you were talking about having a bunch of, like, hot dogs tied to ropes to your fingers when you're... Right? Isn't that...
How absurd do you think I am?
Very.
Fair enough. Okay.
I don't know how you walk into her office.
I have no idea. I would basically be... I would just come up with a plan on the fly. Although, to be honest with you, a guy shows up with hot dogs tied to his fingers. There's only two options for that guy. One of them is you have him committed immediately. And the second option is you let that son of a bitch into the office because that's a man of principle and he has something to say. I vote for the latter, Catherine Kennedy. If the reason that you fired the directors here is due to the fact that they wanted to insert Gungans, more power to you. I will tie the hot dogs to my fingers to thank you. Probably the second best Star Wars movie of all time. Freddy Doggy Fingers.
And get promptly sued.
Hey, it's far enough away. And Wes Craven's dead. Now I'm depressed. All right, let's move on to the next news article.
Last news article, right?
Last one, yes.
We've been milking this. Not intentionally. I feel like I've been derailing things a lot.
Oh, dude, it's fine. I'm enjoying myself. I think the audience is enjoying themselves.
Well, if they're not, they should tweet at us.
Hi, the hot dogs to my fingers to thank.
But probably not, because I think we're going to make you do more than that.
You never know. Let's see. Last one on here. A trailer just dropped. And this is the trailer for a show that you got me into, Adrian. I had never seen the movie when it came out. Then the show came out, and you talked it up so big that I had to sit down and watch it. And I'm playing Bloodborne at the same time as watching the show, and I actually had to set my controller down to give it my full attention.
Right? It's good. Did you watch the show before the movie, or did you go movie before the show?
I watched the show before the movie.
Slightly out of order, but still good.
Exactly. And Season 2 is coming to you guys, and it's coming on Netflix. If you haven't figured out what we're talking about, it's Wet Hot American Summer.
Yep. Hold your butts.
Hold your friggin' butts, because they're jumping to the 90s, bitches. That's my decade. That's the decade that I ruled. I was awesome then. I was so good then. I sucked then. I wasn't decent until the early 2000s. The 90s is just when I had formative memory.
And even early 2000s is pushing it.
That was depressing.
But probably accurate, because I also was in the same boat.
Fair enough. So, Wet Hot American Summer, man, they're jumping to the 90s, and it looks incredible. The whole cast is back, or at least the majority of the cast. I'm pretty sure I saw everybody.
I think they might be missing Bradley Cooper. But other than that, it looked like everybody.
No, Bradley Cooper was in that trailer.
People were talking about him not being in it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody missed it. Or
it could have been a flashback scene, but I'm almost positive I saw Bradley Cooper in there. I know I saw Amy Poehler. Mm-hmm. I know I saw Christopher Maloney.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Elizabeth Banks.
Yep.
Paul Rudd.
I like what they did with Paul Rudd.
Yes. Yes, bitch. This is looking so good. I am so excited to see what they do with this show.
Even the trailer was really, really funny, which is one of the things that doesn't always happen. And it's also one of the things that you get worried. It's like, oh, the trailer was hilarious. That's probably all of the jokes. But I'm supremely confident that that's not all the jokes, because every time I'm surprised by the property. It's like I had no idea what the movie was, and my sister was like, you gotta watch it. So I watched it, and I laughed my ass off. And then I found out they were doing the show, And I was like, okay, I'm pretty excited about that. And I watched the trailer, and I thought it was hilarious. And I watched the show, and it was even funnier than the trailer could have ever let on.
Right.
And just weird and bizarre and out there. So if you guys haven't seen it, and you just like wacky, weird comedies, definitely watch the show and the movie. I can't recommend it enough. I think my two favorite scenes in the show were, and Robbie, you know one of them because you were talking about them. It's when they do the theme song. Toward the end with the rumble. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then my other favorite moment of the show was the chase scene. I laughed so damn
it was great.
hard. I laughed
Christopher
so
Maloney
hard
just skipping around.
Exactly. It was amazing. I laughed my ass off during that.
And that was one of the ones that you warned me about as well. You're like, I'm probably ruining this for you, but I have to describe it in detail through song. And it was still absolutely incredible.
So we're getting some more. Hold on to your butts.
Fucking A, right, man. Wet Hot American Summer. It's coming, man. You can't stop it. Adrian, when is it coming for us?
Oh, Netflix, August 4th.
August fucking 4th, man. It's happening. 10 days before Brooke's birthday.
Happy 10 days birthday to Brooke months in advance.
I will let her know.
That still counts, right?
Sure. Fair enough. All right, you ready for our main topic?
I'm ready for my main topic. You ready for my main topic?
I am so ready for your main topic, I can't even explain it to you.
Well, you're going to have to because it's a podcast. It's not a visual medium, so...
That is true. It's completely auditory.
You're going to have to tell us. You're going to have to explain it.
All right, quit burying the lead, bitch. What do you got for us?
So, as I mentioned earlier on, I got to go to a concert with my old lady, although I don't think she likes being called that. Does anyone like being called old lady? You know what I mean?
Not in my experience,
that's
no.
That's an old slang term for, like, wife or girlfriend, but it doesn't have that positive connotation. So
right, that one's kind of up there with the old ball and chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and that was one of the ones that...
I got to go with my girlfriend. No old ladies involved at all.
B. Arthur stayed home.
Yes. And whoever the other one was. Oh my
Estelle
God.
Getty?
Blanking. I don't know the Golden Girls as well as you do, apparently. And definitely not as well. Was it Dickie or Hobart who had the dream?
I had a dream about exposing myself to B. Arthur.
No.
Hobart had the dream about double teaming B. Arthur with Abe Lincoln. Yes. Again, that's on Couldn't Be Models. That episode was already released, and oh boy.
It was stunning. I listened to that, and I know I've brought that episode up before. It still haunts me to this day. Things that were said cannot be unheard from that. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah,
I'm about ready to brick and B. Arthur, and John Wilkes Booth shows up, and I'm like, Lincoln, Booth! Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Look it up if you want your life ruined temporarily.
Oh, come on. It wasn't... Well, yeah, it was that bad, but it was a great episode.
It was worth it.
That was a great episode.
I'll say it's worth it.
All right. Anyway, so you and Estelle Getty...
Tavia.
Yes.
Me, myself, and Tavia. We went to San Antonio because none of the big name metal kind of acts come here, and I'm huge into metal, and she's kind of into metal, more into punk. Not exactly that metal, but they don't come here. They all go to Houston and San Antonio and Dallas and skip over Austin. It's like, fuck all you, but I get it because San Antonio is an hour away from Austin. It has a much bigger metal scene, so it's kind of like you're gonna pick one of the two. You're gonna pick the one that naturally has more people interested in it living there.
San Antonio's the place of metal. Metal. San Antonio.
So, and it got me thinking about. I'll just say we went and saw the Ghost and Iron Maiden tour. She's super into Ghost, and I've always been super into Iron Maiden.
How can you not be?
You'll have to ask her. No, just kidding.
Fair enough.
No, it was good. It was a blast, and we haven't gotten to do it in a while because you got kids and work and all this other shit that's kind of hard to get out sometimes.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun, and I remembered, like, it gave me a flashback to the first and the only other time I saw Iron Maiden, and it was one of the best concert experiences for myself, not just because they put on a hell of a show, not just because I loved the band, and this is kind of the topic that I wanted to go over. I had such a great time at that show because at the time I hadn't really found where I felt like I belonged, you know? It's like, it was almost 10 years ago when I saw them, and I had kind of like been doing the school thing, like I was going to be a computer engineer or something, electrical engineer, and then decided that wasn't happening, and I tried being with this group of friends that were sort of religious, and that didn't happen. So it's like still kind of in that.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's a story for another time. I was temporarily in a cult, and we'll just leave it at that. I didn't subscribe.
We'll leave it at that for now, but we are revisiting that. I will build a topic around the cult, but we're coming back to the cult.
I was
awesome then. I was so good then.
Ideas and thoughts of the cult, and they were very well described. They were.
That's fine. I've been involved with many cults in my life, both as a leader and a follower. You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader.
Yep.
Yes. We're going to come back to this for an episode. Because this is something I need to hear. Maybe we'll even have you on Couldn't Be Models to talk about this. This is a story that must be told. But let's go back to the concerts, man, because you're right. Yeah, we're way off topic.
Very off topic, but essentially, let's say I was at the time looking for friends. And I
saw Elizabeth Banks.
Evangelists. They reach out to you, you know.
I saw
I was
Paul
kind
Rudd.
of in that system for a little bit. Not really. I always felt like something was a little bit off, but never really fully indoctrinated myself. But I was like, maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I'm just this weird loner, and I just need to give these people a chance. So I was giving them a chance. And then that ended. And it's just like all the people that I knew and that I was spending time with and was hanging out with, like, it's like your friend count goes, like, let's say your Facebook list of all your friends is like 1,000 people or whatever. And then you just, like, wake up, and the next day it's, like, 2. That's essentially what happened to me, except with actual real-life people. So, not a great situation or emotional state to be in. So, I was still searching around for stuff. I just started getting into music. I was starting to go to music school, and not really making a lot of friends or trusting people because of all of that. And just feeling like, where the fuck do I belong? And fell in love with, like, that 80s metal kind of stuff, and not the, like, Cherry Pie Warrant bullshit, or even not really Motley Crue. Like, I liked Dio, and I liked Iron Maiden, and I liked that stuff. And so I knew a lot of the Iron Maiden stuff, and I got to go see them when they were doing their Somewhere Back in Time tour, where they're playing all their older stuff and none of the newer stuff. And I almost didn't go because I didn't have anyone to go with. But I ended up going anyways, just like, I'm not going to miss them. And I'm not going to miss this tour. Because they're playing all the stuff that I love. And I got there, and everyone was singing all the words, which was great. But on top of that, everyone was singing all the guitar riffs, too. Because Iron Maiden typically has, like, they don't have, like, super, like what you're doing. They don't have that, like, na-na-na-na-na-na kind of riffs. They have like melodic leads, and they have like harmony guitar parts and that kind of stuff, and everyone in that crowd knew everything, just like I knew everything. And it was just so great to be surrounded at an outdoor venue, like a giant outdoor arena venue full of people that love the same thing that you love so much. They know all the words and all the guitar parts that you know, and getting to sing them together. I really think that's one of the best feelings in the world, is being surrounded by like-minded people. And I felt like that was almost like the first time for me I was really surrounded by people that I felt like I would fit in with. Because you can give metal fans, like, a lot of shit for the way they dress, or, you know, how sometimes they're kind of closed-minded on the music that they like, or you know, how they judge other genres, this and that. Like, you can give them a lot of shit for that. But if you know or like the same bands that they like, they are some of the nicest fucking people to you. And
I can agree with that, and I can attest to that.
I mean, super welcoming, and it's very true of most of the bands in that genre as well. I forget what the story was, but one of the bands, there was a band that was playing, and people started moshing, as you do at metal shows if you're into that. Personally, I never was, but some people are into that. And the band was like playing, and they saw somebody in the mosh pit go down, which means like they fell down. Right. And the singer or whoever like saw it and was like, "You pick that guy back up, get him back up," because if you're not paying attention, you're just running around in a mosh pit, you could easily just trample that guy.
Yes.
Like he's like the dude is looking out for people in the mosh pit, and it's like, hey, help him back up, make sure he gets up. So, kind of off topic there, but I mean, just that was probably my best concert experience. It was, literally the first time I felt surrounded by people that I actually jived with and had things in common with, even if it was just music, even if it was just one night, knowing like, hey, they're not always the easiest to find, but these people exist, and I have comrades somewhere.
You've got your brothers in arms.
Exactly.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to reach out to you.
A couple of other people. Yes, I'm saying these people's full names on here, but that's because I love these people. They're everywhere. They were the coolest people. Oh no, we'll save the cults for another episode. We tried to stay hydrated. I'll figure out something to review, and we'll bring something to the table about that. We didn't have a review this time, but that's okay. Concerts.
I got one for you. Christian cults. 2 crosses down.
Two
way
upside down crosses.
Very, very far down. Which then, also, metal, 2 upside down crosses way up.
Okay, fair enough. Concerts for me. Latrobe Town Fair 5, summer of 2004.
The summer of 2004.
Goddamn right. So, a friend of mine named Jason McMillan, he talked with my mother without my knowledge, and then talked with me and said that he wanted to take me camping. So I said, all right. Now, I've known this guy for years. He's one of my good friends. I realize how this sounds, but that's literally the way it came across.
I was just say, hold on to your butts. I'm going to take you
camping.
Hold on to your butts.
It's going to be you. It's going to be me. It's going to be a couple of our friends. Jen Searles, she's going to be there. A couple of other people. Yes, I'm saying these people's full names on here, but that's because I love these people. They're really good people. I still talk with a couple of them off and on to this day. So he tells me that he wants to take me camping, and he's like, make sure that you request off for this day. I'm like, oh yeah, man, I totally will. I'm not all about camping, even at all. I'm like, are we doing tent camping and shit? Hell yeah, we're doing tent camping. We're none of that pussy shit. Let's see, if we were doing the pussy shit, I would have been down for it. I ain't a tent camper. I don't want to go tent camping. Yeah. So, needless to say, I did not request my day off from work. The night before we were supposed to go camping, we're supposed to be leaving that night, Jason shows up at my place of employment. Turns out he had already requested the day off for me. I don't know how he did it, but he did. Shows up with a bag with some of my clothes in it. I'm working in a fine dining establishment at this point, so I'm wearing dress pants and a dress shirt and a tie and everything. So he's got my regular clothes. He says, your mother has given us our blessing. We're out of here. We're going. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm down to ride for whatever. I'm just not in the mood to go camping. I'm like, I'd rather go home and watch the fucking Lost Boys for the 80th time. Eat pizza and stay fat.
This sounds like a contracted kidnapping.
Essentially, he did kidnap me, yes.
And your mom was like, yeah, go ahead. Take him.
Yeah, basically. He essentially kidnapped me and took me to a town called Penyan, where we met up with the other people that assisted him in the kidnapping. It was about that time, as I'm hanging out on the couch, developing my own case of Stockholm Syndrome and playing Silent Hill 3, that one of our buddies that was not going on this trip let it slip where we were going, to Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And I'm figuring, oh shit, I'm being kidnapped by a couple of my best friends. They're taking me to Pennsylvania. They're going to sell me into white slavery. Not the case, my friend. This was a graduation gift. They were taking me to a concert called the Town Fair, sponsored by Rolling Rock in a city called Latrobe. At this concert was playing Hoobastank, who people may not know now, but they were pretty big that year.
They were crawling in the dark.
They were indeed crawling in the dark.
Searching
and the
for
reason
the
was for you. The reason was you. Who else was there? 3 Days Grace was there.
They hated everything about you.
But why did they love you? NERD, with the frontman Pharrell from the Neptunes.
I don't have one for that. Pass.
Because I'm happy.
Well, yeah, that, but I mean, that was after.
Yes, it
that
definitely
was much
was.
later. I'm going with songs that were relevant at that time.
How about Mr. It's Your Girl? She loves it.
Nah, I don't know it. The pass.
Okay. Also, some more headliners there. Disturbed.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Hey, Adrian, what does a monkey say? Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, no, that's the fox.
Wrong song. Weirdly enough, and this is what I'm going to discuss a little bit, Stained.
Shoot. This is
Come on, dude, it's been a while.
Wait, no, I was going to say this is how you remind me, but that's Nickelback. It's
That's
been a while.
Nickelback.
That's right. Was Fred Durst there? Wasn't he there? Isn't that the one with there on the outside?
Yes, I'm on the outside. I'm looking in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did that one have Fred Durst on it? I can't remember. I don't think it did.
The version that was on the Family Values concert CD was with Fred Durst. Yes,
Okay.
And that's when Aaron Lewis was still workshopping the song. But yes, you are remembering that accurately. But he was not on the studio version. So I said, all right. There were a bunch more bands that I'm drawing a blank on right now. But that's where they took me. So for 3 days, I did not sleep. The drive down there, the day of the concert, and then on the way back, and we did finally stop to try to sleep. We didn't do a good job of it. There were mud pits everywhere because it was raining there. There was mosh pits everywhere. There were the coolest people everywhere. We barely ate. We tried to stay hydrated. We were covered in mud. It was an incredible experience. There were thousands and thousands of people just everywhere, man, and it was just one of the most incredible experiences. No, the bands that kind of circled through, everybody was cool with each other, and everybody was friends with each other, and there were mosh pits at this concert as well. And on several occasions, when somebody slipped in the mud and fell down, people would shoot out their arms to stop everybody from moshing around them to give the other person time to get back up. And then they'd continue on moshing. And the person that fell down would always be the first one to jump right back in. Grace was there. It was just an incredible feeling of camaraderie. What I will say on the Stained front is, do you know how awkward it is to listen to, as I used to put it, kill yourself music on the most beautiful sunny day of the entire summer?
No, I typically stayed indoors. I was an indoor kid.
You pasty, ghost-looking motherfucker.
Maybe. I probably
What I will say on the Stained front is, do you know how awkward it is to listen to, as I used to put it?
Man, look at this. If somebody ever saw me, they'd be like, man, that pasty white boy has some good-ass skin.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It is absolutely awkward. It's really, really weird to listen to a band play incredibly depressing music on the most gorgeous day of the entire summer. And as much as I loved Aaron Lewis, and he's amazing in concert, all he did was stand there holding the microphone with one hand on his stomach, kind of half hunched over, looking like he's writhing in agony. And that's literally the way it came across.
Yeah, that sounds like criticism, and I guess it kind of is, but he was still fantastic in concert. That was the best concert I have ever been to, and that is a memory I will take with me forever. I kind of want to try to guess more bands that were there just based on the era of all the bands that you're like mentioning. Was Cold there?
No, they were not, but it would have been incredible
right,
if they
were. Would fit right in. Oh man, this is all stuff that I remember when I was this is probably right around. How old were you?
I was 18 at that point.
18, okay. Yeah, because as I say, right around that time, I was, 16, 17, working in a movie theater, and I remember we had this free weekly paper that would get delivered.
That's literally the way it came across. I'm going to take you,
every town of moderate size has those where it's like the free, here's what's going on paper, and we had two competing like modern rock radio stations, and one of them would put out a top 20 tracks list of what they were playing or what they would be playing that week in that paper. And I remember opening it up and finding out, what's new, what's coming out. And it's always like Disturbed and Cold and Stained and like all the Hoobastank, all this other stuff. Right. There's this band that had one song. Was Trust Company there?
Trust Company was not there, and for the record, I loved that entire album, the first one.
I don't remember. I feel like okay.
That album was incredible.
They had one song that was
called
Downfall.
Downfall.
But it was totally different from like the rest of the album, right? If I remember
very
correctly.
Different. It was very, very different. The vocals sound the same, but the feel of the album was very different throughout it, yes.
Because I remember, I
do have the list up here now.
I don't think I bought that album. I think I pirated it on Kazaa or something, and I would like listen to it, and I wanted that one song.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I listened to the rest, and I was like, the rest of these songs don't sound anything like this one song that I liked. I bet they weren't there, but Linkin Park.
Linkin Park was not there. Are you ready for the list?
Right
Shit, they would. And those huge, massive dreadlocks just headbanging.
I'm thinking of, and I'm missing. I'm racking my brain thinking of bands that were around during that time.
Mm-hmm.
You already said Disturbed. Well, I'm guessing Fred Durst was not there with
he was not there. Nope.
Because if I said Stained, I'm on the outside with Fred Durst, you'd be like, yeah, he was there.
Some of these you're gonna kick yourself for.
I probably am. All right, go ahead. I'm ready. I'm holding on to my butt.
This is not the order they performed in, but we've got Throw.
Okay.
Finch.
Oh. Fuel. Was Fuel there?
They were not.
Ah, damn it. They would feel live my life in my hands.
Leave love bleeding in my hands. Yep. Velvet Revolver.
Okay, I would not have pictured them there, but okay.
Stained, the one at the time Disturbed, then The Crystal Method, Enemy, Step Hoobastank, 3 Days Grace, Seven Dust.
Oh yeah,
and Finger 11.
Finger 11. I don't remember Finger 11 that much. I remember that they existed, but I never listened to any of their music.
Their best album was The Grayest of Blue Skies. It was an incredible album.
What was that big Seven Dust song at the time?
The one at the time would have been Enemy. Step up to me, you want to be a big time player, it's not to be.
Huh.
Because when you fall to the ground and finally get back to reality. Yes, no?
I remember Seven Dust a little bit. I don't remember that song, but it fits the timeline.
Yep.
Maybe I'll have to listen to it. I just remember, Seven Dust existed.
Oh, yeah, they did, in a big bad way. Lejeune is incredible in concert. Holy shit, he was good. And those huge, massive dreadlocks just headbanging away and everything, they were great in concert. You've been on... That was my number one concert experience of my entire life.
Yeah. Learn a little bit about something. Shut up. Damn it, I ruined it. Say you learn a little something about someone every day. But then my mouth decided to go full retard.
It's all right, man.
Oh, yep. I know how. Okay, Seven Dust. They did the entrance music for Chris Jericho.
Sure.
Break the Walls Down.
They did have a song called Break the Walls Down, yeah.
Yeah, that was Chris Jericho's entrance music. I was big into wrestling at the time.
Okay. You were also in a cult.
And? The
Nothing.
Cult of Wrestling.
We're up against the clock here, brother. So we are.
We got time. We got time. Stretch it out. Give the people what they pay for.
Speaking of paying, if you guys want to support us, if you like what we're doing here, if we're making you smile and you want to help us out, keep the lights on, keep the servers paid for, you can always support us at patreon.com/artfulgremlins. If you don't have any money to help us out, you know what? That's totally fine. We get it. We understand. One thing you guys can do, however, is go over to iTunes and rate and especially review us over there, because every single one of those helps out more than you can even imagine. Every dollar on Patreon helps us out an incredible amount, and every rating and especially the reviews on iTunes helps us out just as much. Every single one of those helps us climb higher up on the charts so more people can hear us, more people can see us, and you guys get to be Nerdynomicon hipsters. So it's like the circle of awesome. That's pretty much what happens there. If you want to talk to us, if you want to contact us, join in on the fun, have some of your emails and stuff like that read on the air here, you can email us, nerdynomicon@gmail.com. Join our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/nerdynomicon. Tweet at us at the Nerdynomicon. Basically, everything is Nerdynomicon. That's just where you are. And again, one more time, YouTube is starting up there, so you can find us over there as well. That one is not Nerdynomicon just yet. It will be once we have all of the subscribers that we need to be able to change the domain name. So that's when that'll take place.
So do it.
Yeah, search for Nerdynomicon. You'll recognize our little logo there. Just subscribe to us, and then boom. It's going to be youtube.com/Nerdynomicon. Then everything's Nerdynomicon, and you can find us anywhere, man.
And what about, did you already mention this? I was trying to think if I knew any other Seven Dust songs, so sorry, I haven't been paying that much attention. Reviews?
Robbie's over there. Robbie's over there doing the outro, but I'm thinking of Seven Dust. I don't know. I'm sorry, did you say something, Robbie?
Reviews?
Reviews?
Reviews.
On iTunes?
On iTunes.
We covered that.
Ah, damn it. I should have been paying more attention. I knew there was going to be a test. Damn it.
Yes, we covered the reviews.
Now, how about the reviews on iTunes?
And I thought I was the goofy one tonight.
I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it tonight for some reason. I don't know if you've been on
fire.
Have you been holding onto your butt this entire episode? Because I feel like I brought it.
Dude, my left hand is numb right now. I could rub one out and call it the stranger.
Gross.
All right, that's going to take us out of it this week, guys. Until next time, I've been Robbie.
And I've been Adrian.
And I've been the stranger.
Hold on to your butts.
Let's close the book on this week, buddy.